High adventure may come in many forms. To some, it is the call of the mountains. In this case, the snow-blown peaks of the Cascades of Washington State. The thousands of lakes in the region call to the angler, just a few miles east of the coastal cities such as Seattle and Tacoma. Not all that is high adventure is in those mountains east of the coastline. Heading west, out on the water of Puget Sound, brings us close to another form of excitement. Close, but not quite. So it is time to head on south, and a little west, beyond the Sound to the edge of the Pacific itself. And it is here at Gray's Harbor, a little out of Westport, that we will expect to find it. For what higher adventure can you find than that of deep-sea fishing? The prey here are the wily and fighting salmon. It is a game of skill, of holding and bringing in the battling denizens of the deep, weighing in at 20, 25, or more pounds. We are lucky in being able to join one of the numerous neighborhood fishing parties. This one arranged at the Del Rio, a favorite tavern haunt for sportsmen just south of Seattle. Looks like they are just loading the last of the most important equipment, packed in plenty of ice. As we start out, we notice that this harbor isn't so small as first imagined. There are hundreds of boats of all shapes and sizes making a powerful spectacle. And as if waiting for a signal, they all start out at once, forming a long train as they head out of the harbor for open sea. Harbor entrance ahead, and beyond that, the open sea and the bar. No, we aren't stopping for a drink. The bar is sort of a rough reef, stretching across the gateway to the harbor, which we must pass over before we can reach fishing grounds. As we close in on the underwater ridge of unseen rocks, the water gets rougher, for this is the characteristic of the bar, particularly during moving or low tides, rough water, and high waves. By now, our boat is pitching and bobbing like that well-known cork. Looks like someone there is flying above the water in a big hurry. Or was he? A common sight here, one moment high on the crest, next down in the trough, looking about to be swamped. Never quite, though. They always seem to come through. And so we reach the fishing grounds, we hope. From here, it is a period of waiting. If we're lucky, we can get a tug on the line as soon as we drop it in. But more often than not, it is a case of waiting, trying, moving from one spot to another. They're here somewhere. All we have to do is find them. So we patiently wait. And others waited out also. FishOn! The call is out. A strike! The first tug on your line. As your pole tries to bend to the breaking point, the others around you furiously reel in their lines to let you have a clear field. You are now the center of attraction as you try to make head or tail of the staccato of conflicting advice from those around you. Let it run. Reel it in. Is it a salmon or only a sea bass? And there it is, fighting for its life, latched onto something that it can't get rid of, and is it mad? The captain is there with a net ready for you to pull this baby in. The strain is beginning to tell. Keep that line taut. Reel him in now. Point that pole up and keep it bold and springy. Oh, but the weight of that. Ah, just about have it. But here's a fish with other ideas. It isn't caught yet. There it goes, running away. But you haven't given up yet. Start reeling in again. You're getting so tired, but so's that fish. Careful now, watch out for last-minute trickery. It tries again, but waited too long this time. All the fighting in the world won't help now. The ordeal is over. A salmon it is, and a beautiful specimen too. A rough weighing puts it at nearly 25 pounds. It has been a long day, but a day of such high adventure that it still seemed to end too soon. The sign of the seagulls spells that day's end, though. For they are ready and waiting for those leftover snacks of bait. Now, boys, don't fight over it. There is more coming. That always brings us to the letdown. Now that you caught 'em, that job of cleaning always looms up. But for those big ones, a more glorified fate awaits them. Stand up, boys, and smile for the photographers. Maybe you haven't had but an hour's sleep in the last 36, but smile anyhow. And here are the winners. Bob Kukuski, weight 25 pounds, 15 ounces. Ben Galsey, 23 pounds, 5 ounces. And on the left, Earl Bennett, 22 pounds, 1 ounce. As for our organizer here on the left, well, he got one thing the rest of us didn't. He stayed in the cot below deck, snoozing the whole trip. And so there you have it. There's no question that high adventure can be found in the waters off the coast of the Pacific Northwest. Just as high adventure can be found just a few miles inland from that same coast, in the high Alp-like mountains and the lakes of the Cascades.